What is up, Cowboys Nation? Boy, Mike Tag here, man. Hopefully you guys are having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you guys are kind of watching it. But before we get rolling, man, make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe, make sure you hit the share, all that kind of good stuff. But the free fall of the Eagles, the collapse of the Eagles continue as they drop another game, this time against the Chargers in poetic fashion. Jalen Hurts, 5 turnovers, the only quarterback in history to have 2 turnovers on one play. Threw an interception, they fumbled, he recovered it, and then he fumbled. So just beautiful record-setting day for Jalen Hurts, just the most unbelievable quarterback in the NFL, just proven time and time again that he is carrying this team on his shoulders and on his back. But all kidding aside, this loss gives the Cowboys hope. We talked about the path to the playoffs. You can either go the division route or you can go the wild card route. Wild card route's going to be tough because the 7th seed has 9 wins, and any team, once they get to 11, the Cowboys are out of it. There's really no tiebreaker because the Cowboys have the tie. The only way that's going to impact the Cowboys is if the Packers seem to fall back. But everything that's working out, it's giving the Cowboys hope. Now, bottom line is, Cowboys got to win out. They got zero room for error. And they're really not out of it with the East because the Eagles play the Bills at the Bills, probably chalk that up to a loss. They got to find another loss, and that's either going to be the Commanders or the Raiders. You know, feel a little bit better about the Commanders if Jaden Daniels was healthy and they were kind of going, but that was a terrible showing that they had this past weekend. So unless they got some pride, unless they got some life, that's going to be a lot to ask. But if you're looking at what's going on and you're looking at what's going on in this Eagles organization, you're just seeing, turmoil within. The media's turned on them. The fans have turned on them. So the cloud is getting bigger and bigger and bigger over the Eagles, and they just can't seem to find a way to win. And this is reminiscence of 2023 all over again. If you remember that, for the Eagles, and the Cowboys came up and took that division from them. So this is an opportunity for the Cowboys. But like I said, if they don't win out, it really don't matter. It don't matter. They have zero room for error. They're playing the Vikings, coming off a nice win against Washington. That's going to be at home, so I like our chances at home. Historically, for some reason, we've had Minnesota's number over the past few years. Then you've got that Chargers team that beat the Eagles, but they're coming to Dallas. It's going to be a noon game, which those are the trickiest games for some reason for the Cowboys. It's always kind of a weird vibe in there, so you got to kind of see what happens with them. And then they go on the road, Commanders, Giants. Should be able to handle that business. So really, these next 2 games are going to tell the story for the Dallas Cowboys. They got to keep winning, and they got to hope the teams in front of them stumble. And after this Sunday, you'll have a pretty good idea, because if the teams with 9 wins, if they lose, if San Francisco were to lose, if the Bears were to lose, those at the Lions, if you get all these teams in here and they start adding up a loss here and there, the Cowboys' opportunity looks really good, because then with 2 games left, they would just have to split one. The other teams, Cowboys have to win out regardless, but it would just make you feel a little bit better. And 10 wins should get you into playoffs. Cowboys got to get to 10 wins, should get you into playoffs. But this year's been kind of weird in the NFL, and especially in the NFC. So the Cowboys are paying for their sins. That Cardinals game, I'll always say it 100 times because I was at the game and it just infuriated me, and I put so much on that game for them to show up. But the Eagles could be doing us a favor. Jalen Hurts has absolutely been trash. Saquon Barkley showed some life, had a nice game, still didn't help. A.J. Brown wanting the ball all the time, drops would have been a big play or even a touchdown if he would have broke away from the guy. So the defense actually played well. I think they sacked him 7 times, but Herbert had one arm, one hand, and he just, he couldn't really protect himself that much, so he was taking some of those sacks. So, but their defense played like the Eagles should. It's all on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts, and right now he can't carry that weight, and he's just had one bad game after another. So life is still there for the Dallas Cowboys. We are on life support, but it's getting better and better. We just got to handle our business. They won 2 or 3. That was their tough stretch, 3 games in 11 days. We would have loved to see them win 3, but that was a lot to ask. They're coming off what we call that mini bye. Hopefully you get Diggs back. I know some people are, I don't know about it. No, you want Diggs back. You look at the secondary. You need him in there. So you get him back. You get a little healthy. Hopefully Eberflus and this defense will use Overshown. He's getting healthier and healthier. Get him rushing the passer. Use him as that utility Swiss Army knife on defense. And let's make that run. Let's make it interesting, right? I mean, let's just make this thing interesting. 5 weeks ago, we were all, writing off the season, but there is hope. The Cowboys have won, 3 or 4. They're playing better football on defense. They got to improve special teams. They got to tighten up a few things, but these are 4 winnable games for the Cowboys. So I want to see what happens. So you guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking, and make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. We'll be live back in the cave on Wednesday. I appreciate it. See you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.